for the State Fair on the WCCO radio porch. Come visit me next Sunday. I'll be back from 12 to 3. It has been such a great show with some really fabulous guests, and we are winding down the show with a really amazing woman, and she and I share something, and that is our love of dogs and how amazing dogs can be. You've heard about me talk about my dog Shorty. He's 70 pounds of love. He's half pit bull. We're not sure the other half. But that dog has gotten more airtime and photos on social than probably anything else in my life. He is one of the loves of our life. And we're going to talk about all things dog with our next guest. She is Maia Haag. She's author of If My Dog Could Talk, and her company is I See Me Books. Welcome, Maia.
Hi, morning, afternoon.
Thank you for coming, and thank you for bringing Jet. And I understand it's not, you can't just bring a dog to the fair, we learned.
No, we got a special celebrity pass for Jet, and on the way here, I have to tell you, he found at least 2 hot dogs on the ground and several cookies.
I love it. I love it. So thank you and your team for making sure he could come out, because it wouldn't have been the same segment without him, right?
Right.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about, I mean, you all got in touch with me originally when the headlines broke, not great headlines, that police had shot a couple pit bulls.
Yes.
And pit bulls as a breed, being a human connected to one of them, it's not a misunderstood breed, but it's not just pit bulls. That happens with a lot of dogs.
Right. It's a sad thing, and I think that really hit an emotional chord for a lot of Minnesotans when that happened.
What can we do just in general, whether you're a dog owner or not, to really kind of understand dogs better? Because some of the breeds, I mean, you've got a golden retriever. That's such a happy breed. Rarely makes the headlines with negative stories. What can we all do?
Well, I actually grew up with a long-haired German Shepherd as a child, so I went through that with people crossing the street and not being near me as I walked by with our dog, even though she was, a softie. So I think as you see dogs, when you're out and about, just asking the owner, are they friendly before and may I pet the dog? But understanding that every dog is different, in the same way that people don't want to be stereotyped, dogs shouldn't be either.
Yeah, I find it interesting that, dogs are so cute, Jet is so cute, and when Jet was a puppy, I saw pictures, just adorable. And everyone wants to touch that dog, just like they want to touch the belly of a pregnant woman sometimes. Yes. But what's the proper protocol when we see a dog and a human together, and you have that urge to want to pet?
Right. Well, we've spent some time teaching our children that it is a fast urge. You want to go up and immediately pet the dog. And honestly, even the nicest dog, when caught off guard, it's not always a safe situation, especially for little kids whose faces are right by the dog's mouth. And so the protocol is to go up to the owner, ask, is your dog friendly, and may I pet your dog? And then usually the owner will ask the dog to sit, and it becomes a more formal exchange. Because sometimes I've actually, even on dog walks, even asked, may I dog say hi to your dog? Because some other dogs are not exactly friendly to other dogs either. So you really have to ask the owner.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, what we do, because people usually do want to pet him, he looks like a tough dog, but that tail is wagging. He's really adorable. Usually I recommend people let them sniff the hand. Let him sniff their hand.
Yes.
And then, if his tail is wagging, I know things are good. He's happy.
Right.
And then it just sort of becomes...
Because you know him.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
But he'll growl. I mean, he's very protective of us, and it just kind of depends. If you hear the growling, hopefully you'll kind of back off and give him the space.
Right.
Yeah. But you are also really an advocate of all of the positive things dogs can do for people, which, I was talking about this with my husband on the drive over, and he said, well, isn't that obvious? I said, I don't know if it's obvious for everybody. There are some real scientific reasons and
to
evidence.
Have a pet.
Yes, get into that.
Well, we debated as a family when to get a pet, and if you haven't grown up with a pet, sometimes they just look honestly like a big poop machine and a lot of work, right? And it's not, you're not sure really what the benefits will be compared to the responsibility of it. But if you think about, just personally in our family, the benefit of having our dog Jet be part of the family is immense. And first of all, the compassionate love, we all know that with pets. But it goes even beyond the obvious there with our kids. They really look at Jet, our dog, as a way of, he's a calming mechanism. And when they are getting anxious, for example, if they go away to camp, they'll draw pictures of Jet to help relax them to fall asleep at night. So he really, honestly, is a calming element in our household, as hyper as he can be sometimes.
And a study came out recently. It seems obvious, but apparently there are studies on this, that pet owners actually have better heart health, and it's maybe because they have to take that dog out for a walk, things like that. But
yes,
just also that presence and being around the dog. There's some evidence that's showing they're just calmer in general.
Yes, and they're unconditional with their love, right? They never talk back. It's a wonderful thing to just say hi to your dog, and they're so happy to see you at the end of the day. And in our household, the walk, as you refer to, it's, first of all, it gets me out walking every night after dinner, and even in January. But it also has been a great bonding thing for our family, because usually either my husband or one of our kids will come with me, and it's our time. It's 10-15 minutes at the end of the day. It's a really quality conversation among our family members, one-on-one, that honestly Jet has brought to our family.
What are some of the things? I'm speaking with, I'll remind everyone, with Maia Haag. She is owner of I See Me Books, author of If My Dog Could Talk, and we'll talk about how you can get in on that. It's a very special book in a moment. If you have any questions, you're out here in our porch audience, just come right up here and I'll give you the mic and you can share your comment, maybe give a shout out to your doggo, or ask Maia a question. What are some of the things that might be surprising? So, it seems obvious you own a dog, you're going to get more exercise, you have that peaceful end of the day or start to the day. But what are some of the surprising things about dogs?
Well, in our household, one surprising benefit of having Jet has been the learning that is happening with the kids in terms of liking to read to Jet. As Logan, our daughter, was learning how to read, he was a ready listener who didn't ever correct her, and it was a fun way for her to practice reading. And we have great pictures of her lounging in Jet's dog bed reading him a book. And so that was a fun thing that I wasn't quite expecting.
Kind of incorporating the dog or the pet into that learning experience for the child.
Yes, and encouraging them to read out loud because they have a ready listener there with the dog.
Right, whereas a parent might stop and say, oh no, guess that's not the right way.
Yes, exactly. So I thought that was interesting. I recently read a study that children who have a dog in the household who are under the age of 1 at that time have a lower percentage of likelihood of having allergies, certain types of respiratory tract allergies, as they become older children and adults. And the studies talk about how it's because your immune system is exposed to that at a young age and develops an immunity a little bit better. So there's some hidden benefits that not everyone always talks about of having a dog in the house as well.
Very, very interesting, cool stuff. We are going to take a quick break, and then when we return, we're going to find out about If My Dog Could Talk and why this one is personalized. We'll get into all of that with Maia Haag when we return.